First of all, with regards to Sufism and a Sufi scholar in his local town where he's studying in the UK, our scholars taught us that إن هذا العلم دين فانظروا عمن تأخذون دينكم. The religious knowledge is the deen itself, is the religion itself. So one has to be very careful. What is the source of the informations that he's receiving with regards to the religious informations? It has to be authentic and sound. So it's easy to test every person, any person whom you'd like to study with or attend his sessions and so on, by asking about the sound hadith, by asking about belief in the sound collections of the hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, by asking about certain particular scholars. What do you think of Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah, Ahmad ibn Hanbal, Ibn al-Qayyim, and these guys? What do you think of Ibn Arabi? Asking about the righteous people and asking about the leaders of the deviant sects. So the person, by answering saying these are our scholars and al-Bukhari and Muslim are the most authentic sources of ahadith, that gives you some assurance. Then some contemporary scholars, and the names are very famous and many, I don't want to mention any now. And then particularly when you ask about Shaykh al-Islam Ibn Taymiyyah and Ibn al-Qayyim. But if you ever find any of these people are trying to condemn these scholars and belittle the sound ahadith and rely on fabricated ahadith, then rule number one, avoid them. Avoid them. These are not my guys. The Prophet ﷺ predicted that the ummah will be divided, and the deviant sects are the vast majority. 72 sects out of 73 will be deviant, and only one group will remain steadfast on the straight path until the day of judgment. Their traits and description is very simple, as the Prophet ﷺ said. Those who will be following whatever the Prophet ﷺ and his companions were doing and following. So when somebody belittles the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ or inventing like those gatherings which end up with dancing in the name of dhikr, right away I disown these guys and I disassociate myself from them. Every Muslim society and community, especially in college, you will find the good and the bad. You find the moderate and the extreme. Stick to the moderate, stick to those who are trying to propagate the sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ. And then if you have extra time and extra effort, you can work on inviting others, the followers of those deviant sects, to the mainstream of the ummah. If there is another masjid where you know that these guys are Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah and follow the sound Sunnah of the Prophet ﷺ, then you don't have a choice. You have to go with those guys even if they are further away from your place or locality. There will be always a challenge between the truth and falsehood. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَلَوْلَا دَفْعُ اللَّهِ النَّاسَ بَعْضَهُمْ بِبَعْضٍ لَفَسَدَتِ الْأَرْضِ وَلَكِنَّ اللَّهَ ذُو فَضْلٍ عَلَى الْعَالَمِينَ. There is sunnah to dafa. The truth would have to repel the evil and the falsehood. And many people in the name of bid'ah deviated from the deen while believing that they are doing the right thing, while believing that they are pleasing Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and raising the banner of His deen. And from day one, when the Prophet ﷺ overheard about that, he gathered his companions and he addressed the whole ummah pertaining the behavior of three sincere companions of his. When they invented something new that they wanted to draw nearer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala with, the Prophet ﷺ objected to that. And he said, I am the most righteous one of you, the most God-fearing of you, the most beloved to Allah, yet I do 1, 2, 3, and whoever rejects my sunnah, deviates from my tradition, then he does not belong to me.